to get that process.
I'm sorry, say again?
If I have family on Canada.
You have family?
If I have.
Well, yes, there are some points for family relatives to add to your total score. Yes.
Okay.
Family means what? You have a father, mother, or somebody in Canada?
Actually, I have relatives.
What do you mean relatives?
Yeah.
Brother, sister?
I have my uncle.
Huh?
Uncle.
Uncle? What do you mean uncle? Define uncle. Like your father's, mother's brother?
No, my father's brother.
Father's brother?
Yeah.
Yes, so you will get points on the initial FSW point system.
Okay.
You get extra 5 points. Yes. There are a lot of Somalians in US actually, in Minneapolis, in north, on the border of US and Canada.
In US, I have my brother, my two brothers. They are in Ohio, Columbus.
That's right, that's right. One of my friends was from Somalia. Now he's actually, he went back to Somalia and he's a federal minister in the Somalian cabinet. His name is Abdi and I have his information. So he's now a minister in Somalia. I'm surprised actually he became a minister, but that's how people do all the time. All right, so guys, if you have any short questions, you can ask questions. And then what we want to do is 12:15 or so. Maybe we should take a break for an hour or so, and then reassemble, maybe, right? And yes, so go ahead. What's the question?
Sir, I may miss this point, but it is in regards to the immigration for traveling purpose. It is about my uncle who was there in US. In Dubai, but due to some issues he just returned and now he want to apply to Canada. He has no ECNR and
who are you talking to? I mean, uncle means you?
Yes.
Yeah, why don't he talk? Maybe he can talk.
Yes, sure. Thank you.
सर हिंदी में
बोले हम हिंदी बोले खुद के हम बोले
सर मैं अप्लाई करा कनाडा के लिए विजिट के लिए एजेंट के थ्रू तो
विजिट वीजा के लिए
90 डेज के लिए तो वो लोग बता रहे तुम्हारा कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ रहा दुबई में मेरे को ब्लैक लिस्ट कर दिए थे लोग तो वो प्रॉब्लम
ये आपकी पर्सनल प्रॉब्लम डिस्कस है तो सब सुनेंगे यहाँ पर कोई अगर बात हम अलग से भी बात कर सकते हैं वैसे
ठीक है
अगर आपको ब्लैक लिस्ट कर दिए कुछ है कोई क्रिमिनल चार्ज के ब्लैक लिस्ट किए या कोई
नहीं वो तो कुछ दुकान का मसला था
दुकान मसला maybe I can speak in English as long as there is no criminal charge against you, you are good for Canada. Criminal charge का मतलब criminal charge like you have not killed anybody, murder charge, or dealing in drugs, or dealing in assault, मतलब किसी को मारा, assault, rape, or drunk driving. In some countries, I don't know, दुबई में ऐसा आपने सुना होगा, दुबई में अगर आप शराब पी के गाड़ी चलाओगे तो क्या होगा? You will be in jail, I think, I'm sure, maybe something more, right? In all over the countries, everywhere in the world, if you are caught and charged with driving a car after consuming alcohol, there will be a criminal charge. And if there is a criminal charge, then you cannot apply for Canada. End of the story. So अगर ऐसी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है तो ठीक है, बाकी सब चलता है।
सर ये उनका जो पर्सनल था कैनेडियन को किस तरीके से मालूम होगा मैं वो पूछ रहा था
क्या
क्योंकि ये तो कैनेडियन हुकूमत को वो तो मालूम नहीं कर सकते ना
वो मालूम कर सकता है सब मालूम उनके हाथ बहुत लंबे हैं उनके हाथ बहुत कानून के हाथ बहुत लंबे हैं वो सब आप दुबई में आप क्या क्या करके आए कहाँ रह के आए वो सब कनाडा वाले पता कर लेंगे और आपको खुद नहीं पता है वो क्या पता कर लेंगे आपको खुद नहीं पता कि वो आपके बारे में क्या जानते हैं वो सब जान लेंगे और अगर आपने उनसे झूठ बोला या छिपाया तो वैसे ही आपको ब्लैक लिस्ट कर देंगे फॉर लाइफ उनके लिए भी तो वो सब पता कर देंगे बाकी ये है कि आप किस उसमें अप्लाई करोगे मतलब PR के लिए विजिट वीजा के लिए कौन है वहाँ पर कनाडा में
हमारे रिश्तेदार
क्या कर रहे हैं बुला रहे हैं आपको घूमने के लिए बुला रहे हैं
नहीं वहाँ आने के बाद
नहीं आने के बाद कोई दिखने वाला नहीं है वहाँ पर कुछ जो दिखना है सब यहीं से दिखना है वहाँ जाने कुछ नहीं होने वाला lot of people assume that maybe we can go to Canada on a tourist visa और अदर शॉर्ट टर्म वीज़ा, और वहाँ जाने के बाद कोई जुगाड़ हो जाएगा कुछ, समथिंग जुगाड़, we can do something by paying money or by writing a document or traveling around Western or somewhere. They can come here and then we can start the whole process. Today is my last day in Hyderabad for the seminar, so I'm hoping to meet I was looking to meet some IT specialists and technical people who are not confused in Western and come here and we can talk and then we can do the full seminar. ठीक है? Thank you. ऊपर आगे पीछे कॉपी करके बीच में अपना मसाला डाल दिया उन्होंने. Do you see that? अगर मेरे को बस सामने आएगा तो मैं उसको गला ना दबा दूं कहीं. अब फोन उठाएगा नहीं, उसे पता है कि अब उसका टाइम आ गया, उसका अब नहीं उठाएगा फोन को. अभी मैं यहाँ पर 2 दिन और हूँ हैदराबाद में. जब भी आपका फोन आता है तो मेरे पास आओ उसको लेकर. वो आप पहली बार मेरे पास आएगा नहीं, लेकिन what we will do is we will today talk about the Canada immigration system, primarily focused on skilled immigration, which is also called express entry. It used to be that before 2015, anybody who wanted to apply for Canada, they would look at the points under the federal skilled worker class and then do a paper application. In 2015, everything changed. So now we have an online computerized expression of interest system by which anybody who is interested in going to Canada under skill class, they will do a profile online, and then from the database, the Government of Canada will select based on a criteria called comprehensive ranking system. So we will look at a short video, it's about 2 minutes or so. It describes what the basic tenets of express
and ability to contribute to Canada's economy. They also bring diversity and help build vibrant communities. If you are an experienced professional or skilled worker and you want to come to Canada permanently, take advantage of the express entry system. This video will help you create an online express entry profile, the first step in the process. In your profile, you will tell us about your skills, work experience, language ability, education, and other details. If you meet the criteria, you will be placed in the express entry pool. You will get points and be given a score based on the information in your profile. Your score will be used to determine skilled worker, and you want to come to Canada permanently, take advantage of the express entry system. This video will help you create an online express entry profile, the first step in the process. In your profile, you will tell us about your skills, work experience, language ability, education, and other details. If you meet the criteria, you will be placed in the express entry pool. You will get points and be given a score based on the information in your profile. Your score will be used to determine your position in the pool. The top candidates in the pool are then invited to apply for permanent residence. Start by using the Come to Canada online tool to see if you meet the criteria to get into the express entry pool. This step will take about 15 minutes to complete. We need to know your language ability in English or French. You'll have to take a language test at one of the approved testing agencies before filling out your profile. Have these things ready: your language test results and the skill type of the job your work experience is in, and, if different, the job you plan to have in Canada. Find the skill type of your job in Canada's job classification system, the National Occupational Classification, or NOC. Use our online tool at canada.ca/express entry. If you want to get points for the education you got outside of Canada, you will need an Educational Credential Assessment, ECA. You can learn more about ECAs and the organizations that offer them by visiting our website. After you have finished entering all of your information in the Come to Canada tool, and if you get a positive result, a reference code will show on the screen. Write this code down. You will need it later when you go to build your express entry profile. The next step is to gather the other things you will need to fill out your express entry profile. This may take some time, so start getting your information together right away. You will need 1. Your personal reference code from the Come to Canada tool. 2. where you have lived over the last 10 years or since the age of 18. 3. Details about your work experience for the last 10 years or since the age of 18, such as dates of work, start and end, contact, including address, and hours of work per week. 4. Your passport information. 5. If you have one, a copy of your written job offer from an employer in Canada. 6. Information about your family members, including dependent children. If you have a spouse, you will need his or her information, including their language assessment and education assessment if available. If you have any questions while filling out your profile, look for the question mark button and click it. Remember, filling out a profile is not the same as applying for permanent residence. If we invite you to apply, you will still need to fill out your online application. If you get an invitation to apply for permanent residence, we will ask for proof of the information you gave us in your Express Entry profile. Remember, be completely truthful in your profile. We can refuse your application if the information in your profile is different from what you submit in your application. If you have any questions while filling out your profile, you can find more information by clicking the button that looks like a question mark. Visit our online help center if you have any other questions. An important note, completing an online Express Entry profile or entering the pool does not guarantee that you will get an invitation to apply. It is only the first step. A final reminder, having the correct information and documents before you fill out your profile will speed up the overall process. It also reduces the chance that your profile will be rejected because it is incomplete. You're now ready. Start your Express Entry profile today at canada.ca/Express Entry.
So, the last scene, which is on the screen now, canada.ca/Express Entry. This is the official Government of Canada URL that anybody can get free information, official information, latest authentic information on how those changes are happening, if some changes are happening. So canada.ca/Express Entry is something that you should note down with your paper and pen, and you should go always to this website and then you can read anything that you want to know about it. This video is of course by Canada government itself. Now the government of Canada is investing a lot of money to tell the world that they need immigrants. Why does Canada need immigrants? Did you ever imagine, did you ever ask yourself a question, why do countries like India and China are not spending money to invite immigrants to live here?
Population.
Because of population. The population of China and India is so much that they don't want more people to come in. Have you ever seen the government of India saying to other countries, come, let's go and live in India? Because we have too many people here anyway. Same as in China. Compared to a country like Canada, where the population is hardly about 34 to 35 million, about 36, less than 36 million right now. The population of Hyderabad is close to 10 million. Right? What is the population of Hyderabad? Any guess? Maybe I'm wrong.
17 million.
17 million? Are you sure?
1.7 crore population.
I was told differently yesterday because it's about 1 crore or so.
That's more than that.
Whole city is 1 crore and surrounding is 1
The
crore.
whole city is 1 crore. It was in
Surrounding
2010 or something. Now it is 1.7 crores.
Wow. Congratulations on the population boom in Hyderabad and India. So the population of Hyderabad is 17 million. Gosh, I'm trying to do some ratio and proportion here. The population of Canada is 34. That means 2 Hyderabad's make the whole of Canada.
Whole Telangana.
Whole Telangana.
Is Canada.
The whole Telangana is Canada?
Yeah. The whole
Okay.
Telangana is 34, 35.
34. So now think of this as the size of Telangana and the size of Canada. The whole area of Canada is at least twice of India, maybe more. I didn't do
More
the
than that.
more than that.
Yeah.
Could be 2.5 times or 3 times. I'm just guessing. Just the Telangana itself, if you pick up Telangana from the global map and put this on Canada, it is hardly the size of Alberta, maybe half the size of Alberta. So the whole of Telangana, you stretch out and put to Canada, we have enough land in Canada to fill and ask people to live. Got it? We need people. Canada needs people to come and live and inhabit the empty lands, and of course to settle there with families, have babies. That's why we need younger people. We don't want people who are 60 years or 70 years old. We want people who are in the range of 20s or 30s. So the maximum, as we saw earlier, the maximum points we get on the comprehensive ranking system is 29. A 29-year-old skilled person from India, China, Mexico, UK, Africa, anywhere, is the best person they want to come and live in Canada because he is young. Most likely he has education done, 25, 26. Can you switch off the phone? We don't want any phones to come in between, all right? So we don't want, people who are older than that range because perhaps they are not interested to, migrate, or they are already established in their countries, and possibly they have less incentive to leave their homeland and come to Canada. A person who is around 20 or 30 years age, he is in the prime of his job. That means he's already completed his education by 25, 26. He has about 3 to 4 years of experience. He's young. He perhaps speaks English and French and other things. He is ready to go. And that is what the kind of talent most countries need, including America, Canada, Australia, Germany, England, wherever they want fresh immigrants to come. This is the kind of profile they need. Among all the countries in the world, wherever immigration is open, some countries immigration is not open. Have you been to Japan? Anybody been to Japan? No, nobody been to Japan? Japan is a very developed country with very high salary, very high cost of, the standard of living, not the cost, of course cost, but standard of living. But Japan has no immigration system. You cannot apply to Japan and say you want to live there permanently. They will ask you to leave. I mean, they will give you some time to work permit and stuff. But there's a huge barrier to actually living permanently in Japan. Has anybody been to Finland or Sweden or Switzerland? Nobody been to Switzerland? You guys don't, Switzerland. Switzerland is a very developed, rich country. But can anybody apply from India to the Swiss embassy saying that, look, I want to take my family and live there permanently? Is it possible? No. Only students. Wherever they see some advantage in making money from the student, they will allow you to. Typically, most rich, industrialized OECD countries have barriers to immigration from people coming from India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, and the so-called poor countries. I don't know whether that's the right term to use, but these are less developed countries as compared to those. Compare this with two countries, Canada and Australia, and I'll do America also. America, Canada, and Australia are traditionally magnets for migrants. That means people all over the world, any young person, if I ask them, do you want to go to America? Yes, he will run right now if getting a chance. People love to go to these countries because they see a better future, an English-speaking country with better standard of living and healthcare and wages and everything. They want to go there. But in a short comparison of US, Canada, and Australia, US right now is under political turmoil. President Trump has made the conditions tough for migrants to come and live there. They want skilled immigration like H-1B. H-1B is hard to get, we were discussing earlier. Because of the different political climate and economic recession, H-1B is not a good option for many engineers from South India and including all over India. So US is no longer that attractive magnet for skilled people to go and get a green card. Even if you get the H-1B, if you do this through a lottery, it is not before about 20 years before you can actually get the green card. So US is not even in my list if I want to offer some option to skilled people. So we are left with only 2 countries, Canada and Australia. And I do not know anything about Australia. I have heard from other people that to apply for Australia, it is expensive. And there are also some recent curves about how you can apply and how you can do. Coming to Canada, while other countries are closing in, Canada is opening. Canada wants people from all over the world, skilled people whom they can bring in. Traditionally, 3 countries have always topped the list. The countries where people come from and live in Canada. Those countries are, not surprisingly, China, India and Philippines. China, of course China has a lot of things, China and Hong Kong, India and Philippines. So these countries are English-speaking countries, not as much as China, but Hong Kong is. We have had a tradition of being colonial, slaves under different powers, and we love the Western world. We want to go and live in different country. No wonder every young person today in India today wants to leave India and go and live somewhere else, like Canada and America, wherever possible. Canada is the shining light on the hill, which is calling you to apply and get settled in with your family in Canada. The process is very simple for skilled people. It's called express entry, as we just saw. So what I want to do today is we have about 3 hours to discuss all about express entry. So we will do a combination of 3 things. We will talk about express entry and how to apply and the application procedure on the screen. We will also talk to individuals in the audience, and we can assess the profile right now to see if you qualify, so that when we assess somebody, so other people can watch and then you can get it. This is an education class, more or less like an immigration class going on in university. So I'm like a teacher of immigration, teaching you what you need to know about Canada immigration, so that once I'm gone, at least you will have those lessons in your mind